So first things first, tomorrow at around 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to have an interview or another Google Hangout with O'Shea Duke Jackson. The link will be down below in the description. Make sure you're not late for that, or at the very least you catch the replay. But with that being aside, I want to get down to business. And business that I should have talked about yesterday, but I had plans, so obviously I can get to that. But today, we want to talk about something that a lot of people tend to have as a question. And in many cases, it's not a question, a genuine question at least. It's more of a rhetorical question, or a question that comes out of disingenuousness of, where are the black fathers? Why aren't the black men being fathers? Why don't they take care of their kids? And we all know that a lot of this is being mentioned by racist white men and the majority of black women. I mean, I can't even spin it any other way. A lot of them want to wonder, want to ask, and sometimes will try to take credit for being the mother and the father. So I'm assuming a lot of single mothers had their second day, which I won't get into. And quite frankly, if any of you, especially you single mothers, celebrate Father's Day, here's my message towards you. But as far as where are the black fathers, well, quite frankly, it's a simple question. It's a simple answer. You all scared them away. And quite frankly, we've all, and someone keeps saying that my catchphrase should be quite frankly, which I can't argue with them there. But quite frankly, it's simple. The average American black woman scared away the average black American male who has the potential to be good fathers, who has the potential to be good spouses, and who have the potential to rebuild the black community. Now, you all know how I feel about the black community in general. I think for the most part it's a lost cause. Yes, can we get a certain amount of blacks to breed with each other and possibly rebuild at least the black image? I can see that as being possible if drastic measures are being taken, which quite frankly a lot of people are gloating and celebrating and popping bottles of champagne too early. It's sort of like how the Falcons fans did during the Super Bowl, and particularly during halftime. A lot of black men are celebrating over these so-called budget cuts, these welfare cuts that Donald Trump is swearing, and he's going to say he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Watch out. Watch out. It's coming. But those welfare cuts, Section 8 cuts, they're coming. And in reality, a lot of them are doing it because it's mostly, the real translation is, those bonquishas, they're coming. They're going to come. Let me get my stroke ready. Let me get these let me get this bed ready. Let me get these drinks ready. Shaniquas are coming. They're coming back. They're coming back. I don't gotta go to X videos tonight. But all jokes aside, a lot of the black men that you all say are non-existent, well, quite frankly, they are. And as I told a lot of you all, I'm actually in a state that I'd say has a 2% black population. And even in a place like this, black men, I am glad to report that black men or black fathers do exist. Here's where the asterisk is. A lot of black fathers exist, but a lot of them have a non-black spouse leaning on their shoulders and a non-black kid, at least not full black kid, held in their arms. And I know that's the answer that a lot of black women are cringing at this point, but quite frankly, I don't care. because I've seen examples throughout my time in the so-called black community. And in a lot of places, middle and upper income black communities. These aren't like hoods. These aren't like damn near third world civilizations. These were black communities where if proper care and treatment, or rather should I say proper choice and men was done, you would have these places being on par with, quite frankly, the rest of the region. And the region where I'm from is one of the most affluent regions in the country. You got counties to the north and to the west of where I used to live. They have incomes, household incomes of $100,000. Look it up. You all can probably figure out where I'm from with those clues, but there is no reason why the county east of the major city where I'm from doesn't have that same standard of living, quality of life. But you know the reason why it doesn't? Is because even in those communities, the black females felt as if in order to keep it black, keep it real, keep it street, that they catered to and looked for. And I don't even say the street kind of dudes, but the dudes who emulated the most negative parts of street culture. And black men, black boys I should say, black boys and teenagers who noted that and had enough mental fortitude in order to not even emulate that kind of culture, knew that they were unwanted from the beginning. They decided that, such as myself, they decided that whenever they got the chance, they would get the hell out of Dodge. That's where all the good fathers have gone. And now you all want to take credit and stating that, well, I'm the father and the mother and all this other bullshit. And quite frankly, the single mothers, as I said, all the single mothers who celebrated on Father's Day, here's my message towards you. The point is this. A lot of you all who wonder why the black community isn't getting rebuilt, why the black community isn't worth saving for the most part, why the only time I would tell a person who wants to invest in the black neighborhood is to gentrify it and to kick the riffraff out, do what a lot of these liberal whites are doing, which I will give liberal whites one thing. Their reinvestment in the cities is something that I would definitely research if I was a on-point black man. And quite frankly, I think I live in a city that is prime, or in a place, I live in places that are prime investment for reinvestment, I should say, but I won't get too much into my personal endeavors. Quite frankly, the black fathers are there. They exist. But for the most part, you told them that they didn't have enough game, they didn't have enough swag, they weren't about that life. And that message is very demeaning. Or in a lot of cases, you told them that now I've seen this YouTube shit that's been going on as of late about how these hood rats and these bed wenches will call certain black men beta male lames. And let's be honest, it all comes down to the fucked up expectations of a lot of black women. And even some of these dudes out here, some of these mediocre Negroes out here who are stating, well, and one of these mediocre Negroes commented on one of my comments, stating that, well, why the fuck are you bitching about all this shit, whereas you think a bitch supposed to make you king, or a chick's supposed to make you king because you got a job, you got your own place, you got your own car. Oh, really? You can pay some couple bills? Hold on. Every other race of men as long as they do the following, the aforementioned, they do not have problems with finding decent women to settle down with, to build something with, or just to have friends with benefits with. And let's not even focus on the white and Asians who tend to have most of the money. Let's focus on the Latinos for a sec. And the only reason why I want to focus on them is because a handful of them are immigrants. I'd say a plurality of them are immigrants. Or were raised in less than favorable conditions, sort of like how blacks are, but they sort of have an excuse. And a lot of them are willing to get up at times which most Americans aren't, work at jobs which most Americans feel is beneath them, and get their hands dirtier than most Americans are willing to do. And you know how they're rewarded? Fine, nice, whether it's physically nice or at the very least personality nice, submissive Latina women who, even if they aren't married, even if they have kids out of wedlock, they still have loyalty towards their men. And quite frankly, you would think that, like how some of the Asian and Indian women tend to sell out their own men and pull all sorts of bullshit excuses to play colonialism, neo-colonialism 2.0 or whatever, with going after the worst kind of white men. You would think Latinas would do the same thing in mass. Now, there are some who do that. But what I've noticed is that a lot of them are loyal to their men. To the very end. Whether it's a pleasant or a bitter end. It's a damn shame that black men cannot just do those things. Or black men who do those things are not seen as good enough. And you wonder why black men are not standing by your side. Because, quite frankly, it was you all. Now, I hate to say this, I hate being presumptive, but it was the majority of black women who drove black men away. And you all want to know about solutions? Well, the black manosphere has said it over and over again. But you all refuse to listen and take it in. So quite frankly, you're on your own. Be bitter, be mad, but don't be surprised. And for everyone else out there, always bet on X.